Hello and welcome to the Mazda 3 Burgundy selection, one of the latest cars added to Gran Turismo 7 with update 1.31. Now the question that has everyone a bit stumped is, why is this car even here? Now if we just look at the Mazda for what it is, it's a slow hatchback, and that is perfect for beginners in this game because, as you know, with Gran Turismo 7 it's a real development as you progress through the game. You're gonna start off in slow hatchbacks, so to see that Gran Turismo 7 is actually adding a new starter vehicle, it is quite an interesting take, considering that most of the fans that play this game have been playing the game from launch and are expecting cars like the Lexus LFA, to just name one that has been highly requested. But everyone may be actually looking over the Mazda 3. This car is, as I said, it's slow. It's slow. I mean, you're not going to expect much from a beginner's hot hatch. It has 177 brake horsepower and just under 1500 kgs, which means it's not that heavy, but it's not powerful, which means this thing is absolutely great in the corners. Now, with having such a low powered vehicle and a low weight, the car is able to take most corners practically flat out, and that's exactly what you can do. But there is a feeling of, I don't even know how to really explain it, but when you step out of your Ferraris, your Lamborghinis, your full-on race vehicles and jump into something like the Mazda 3, after you get over the fact of like, wow, this is slow, you actually get the sensation of like, you know, this is actually nice to drive. The car gives such a laid-back driving experience because if you're driving fast vehicles all the time, you're just always on edge, you're always thinking, am I gonna make it? Is the car gonna go sideways? This, that and the other. Whereas in this, you just put your foot flat and you just go around the track. It's really just such a carefree driving experience that you don't get from most of the cars that are added to Gran Turismo 7. We get fast vehicles that are just supposed to be over 1000 horsepower, this, that. Everyone wants to go fast. But sometimes it's actually good to just take a minute and slow it down. And that's exactly what the Mazda 3 offers. Now the whole story about Burgundy selection, what makes that special, it's just the interior trim. And I actually went for it in the white with the Burgundy because this is supposed to be a homage to the Mazda R360 Coupe, which was Mazda's first passenger car and the car that they used to signify the 100 years of the Mazda Motor Company. Now let's say you bought this car and you just don't want to experience it being so slow. Well, you're lucky because you can actually upgrade this beginner's vehicle. Now, as I said, this is a beginner's vehicle. It only has 177 brake horsepower, so we can't expect through upgrading this vehicle is going to be at almost 1000 horsepower. It's just not going to happen. So we're just aiming at roughly about 300 brake horsepower. Now, I say, oh, we can't see this having 1000 horsepower. The way Gran Turismo 7 has been going with its engine swaps, I wouldn't be surprised to see this vehicle get a 787B power plant. So until that day actually comes, we're just going to be happy with 357 brake horsepower. And considering from the fact we start at 177, I am quite happy to see this amount of power. Now what has me most excited is the fact that this car comes with a torque vectoring differential, which means we're going to be able to turn this all-wheel drive monster, this all-wheel drive family vehicle, into a rear-wheel drive drift machine and see if we can actually get some slides going. So with the car's performance being upgraded, it's only right we upgrade the looks, and I found a beautiful Mad Mike inspired livery for the Mazda 3 and I knew I just had to have it. It looks absolutely killer, and I knew if we actually do get this vehicle sideways, it's gonna be the perfect fit. Now once we are back out on circuit, I'm gonna make most of the power go to the back by setting the torque vectoring differential to 95 to the rear. So let's just see how it actually performs. Now one thing I must admit is that there is a significant difference between this and the standard Mazda 3. You can feel it immediately as the way the power gets laid on and the way the car is actually able to take corners. Now it is so fast around corners, it's actually surprising because you wouldn't expect it. Now even with all the power going to the rear wheels, there is no slippage while having these racing soft tires on. They're the grippiest tires in the game, and I'm so used to having high horsepower vehicles that can actually light up these tires and just make them unusable, that to find a vehicle that has so much grip using these tires, it's shocking. My personal advice, if you're trying to get used to a circuit or trying to learn a circuit, I like hopping into vehicles just like this because it allows me to aim and just hit the perfect apexes and know how I can effectively go the fastest around these circuits. And now the Mazda 3 is going to be my new go-to for doing just that. Now the thing is, a lot of people are actually not going to try this vehicle out or even give it the time of day, because they're going to look at it and see like it's just a slow hatchback. It's not going to change their lives. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not going to change their lives. But it is such a fun little vehicle that why not pick it up? I mean, it's 37,000 credits. It's not expensive at all. It's in brand central, which means you can get it whenever you want. And if you do fully upgrade it, yes, you are going to spend roughly 200,000, but the car is going to be such a little blast that you're really going to actually enjoy your time with it. I'm not going to lie to you here, but I honestly came into this video thinking this car is going to be so boring, slow, I'm just not going to enjoy my time. But actually driving the car around for quite some time, you actually have a sense of joy that you don't actually get from other vehicles that go over 400 kilometers per hour, get you around this corner like this, and you gotta focus and do this. As I said in the beginning, this is such a carefree vehicle that's just so easy to drive, there's no stress, and it's decently powered. But if you do want to add some spice to your life, well, you can always try sliding it. Now the main thing we just had to change was our tire compound, so if we slap some racing odds on, well, you can get the vehicle to go sideways. Sadly, with the car still being underpowered, it doesn't really light up the tires. You aren't gonna see any puffs of smoke, which frankly is the whole point of actually going sideways in the game. So if you just have no smoke, it kind of looks like this, and it's not really that exciting. So maybe if it did have maybe 100 more horsepower, we would be able to actually light up the tires and see some clouds of smoke coming from the Mazda 3. Or you can do this and actually see some smoke. So this was just a failed 360 entry. I completely misjudged where the corner was and spun it around a lot sooner than I should have. But as you can see, you can get the vehicle to actually slide out and just enjoy the drift. But even with this, it's such a careless, there's no stress involved. The car just slides from side to side. There's no real effort that you actually have to put into it. I mean, yes, you do need to handbrake it quite a lot to actually get the vehicle to slide, because with only 357 brake horsepower, it doesn't light up the tires, it doesn't spin the tires enough. So if you are gonna slide it, you are gonna have to be yanking that handbrake. So that about wraps it up for the Mazda 3. It's a fun little vehicle that a lot of people are actually gonna look past. So if you have tried it out, let me know what you think of it in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.